Oh my god. Oh my god, I've done it. Pinewood, come here! I want you!
What? I was sleeping, bro.
Oh my god, I did it, man. I freaking did it. The most powerful tool in podcasting technology since high-speed internet, dude. Oh my god. Inward speaking.
What?
Check it out. It's an invention that makes nonstop podcasting possible. Think about it, man. Podcasters, they're only casting half the time. The other time, they're breathing in. But not anymore, baby. Not with inward speaking. Check it out. And then I'll start just speaking, and you can't believe I'm speaking, cause I'm never freaking stopping, cause I'm always freaking speaking. And now you know that I will never stop the freaking cast, cause I'm always on the air, and I'm always on the air. And I can cast like that all freaking night.
What? Wow. It wasn't really nonstop.
Oh, whatever. Just kick it.
Well, hip, hip, hip hooray, and happy Thursday out there to all my thirsty friends. We are like a rockin' two-man podcasting team coming at you live from the Great Plains of the Texas Panhandle, from our overly indebted podcasting equipment straight to your ear holes. This is our love letter to you. This is Fraternize with These Guys. I'm your humble host, Pastor Pinewood, and across from me sits the greatest heathen that the world has ever known.
Easy.
We are excited to bring you yet another star-studded episode filled with the good, the bad, and the ugly.
You're ugly. Always naysaying.
What? Jeez, bro, why so feisty?
I mean, everything I create, like inward speaking.
It's not nonstop, though. There's clearly a break point.
Whatever,
there.
dude.
I mean, it's a cool invention. It's just not like mind-boggling or anything. It's almost like you stole it from somebody.
I mean, there is a slight possibility.
Well, I'll tell you what, regardless of who you stole it from, it's pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
And good job on the inward part. That's not easy to do.
It's difficult to do, my friend.
It sounds easy, but it's not.
Definitely not.
Can you imagine actually having to do that like on a regular basis? I think you'd hyperventilate.
Bro.
I tell you what, you could do that 100 feet below water. With your air, you could probably make it to the top.
Well, I don't know. The Gossip Girls had a very successful TV show, and that's what they did.
The what?
Gossip Girls.
What is that?
Dude, that show just freaking... It was like, hey, how's it going? How's it going? Oh, I don't know. Pretty good. How about you? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Oh, I'm doing good. I went to the mall today. Oh, yeah. What'd you get at the mall? Oh, not a lot. Got a little pants. It was pretty cool.
That's pretty good, man. I like that. Hey, that show wasn't bad. It
was a fresh dog turd.
I liked it. It was very witty.
I don't care about you anymore.
I enjoyed it. I tell you what I do care about is this next coming week.
Oh, I know.
And especially tomorrow.
I know. I'm super serial. It's exciting.
We're going to be, I think it's our first like event where people can come see our greatness.
Well,
I'm talking about
yes, as a power duo.
Right. It's the first time that people are going to be able to really come and
breathe us
see everything that we have to offer in person. And so March 11th at 7 o'clock at Eccentric Brewery in Midland, Texas.
Yes.
Old Pinewood and Beezy. We're going to be making an appearance. Now, we're only going to be there for 10 minutes, and we're going to need you to buy us all our beer, but we will grace you with our presence.
And by 10 minutes, he means we're probably going to close it down.
Probably going to close the joint down. It's going to be fun, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, brother.
So come see us tomorrow. We'd love for you to come see us, and man, we'll enjoy hanging out with everybody. And that place, every time I've gone in there, there's something, I hate to use this word because it's a little cliche. There's something magical about that place.
I know.
It's like in this weird industrial area. It's a little... It doesn't look like what it is.
Like if you're driving past it, you're like, oh, what is that?
Yeah, it looks like a car yard.
Yeah.
Like behind it, you have a whole bunch of junk. Well, it's not that. You walk inside and it's like, whoa, this is
gorgeous,
pretty legit.
They got
place.
a sweet little bar when you first walk in on your left hand side with the taps and everything.
Right.
And then on the right-hand side, they've got all their merch and stuff stuck up on the wall. Oh, it's
those freaking bats.
Yeah.
Got all those bats that Jamie does.
Yeah,
it's going to be cool, man. It's a lot of fun. So come out and see us. And then we're going to be recording there on the 12th.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately, we can't allow everybody to come in for that.
No, we're gonna be recording pre-open.
That's right. So we'll record, and then I got to fly back home so I can preach the next day. So that's gonna be a long Saturday, but it will be worth it. Come out and see us, and then to add to the greatness of that week, then we have Patty's Day, which is that's a big deal, man. It's a big deal for us.
It is.
Everybody's Irish on Patty's Day.
Everybody's Irish.
And I feel like it's on a Thursday, which is close enough to a weekend.
Close enough that you can take one day off. You can take that Friday off.
Tell you what,
as well.
It's a week prior right now. You can go ahead and put in your PTO time like right now.
And probably get approved.
I think plan ahead and have a good Patty's Day.
You might as well.
All right, so quick question.
Okay.
Do you ever go out and do the actual green beer thing?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I for sure have. Do you still do that? Is that something? Okay.
So we have, and I can't remember if we talked about this last year on the Patty's Day special, but we have a group that we kind of have a tradition where every Patty's Day we go to this local place here in town in Lubbock called Triple J's, and they're a little kind of craft brewery.
Yep. Not only did we talk about, we went last year and had the corned beef.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so great. Yeah. So y'all do that every year?
Every year for the last, probably 5 or 6 years.
Oh, beauty.
But it started about 11 years ago. Me and Cheek went there as soon as they opened, and we got tanked on green beer. And well, we did some crazy green beers.
Okay.
Because we just had, of course, we did the standard ale,
right,
or whatever they have. Was just their cheap shit. We get it in a big old monster mug, and then they put the green dye in there, and then we were like, well, let's get the beefiest brew that they've got here. And they had some IPA. It was probably a double IPA that was like 19.5%.
Oh, come on.
And it come out, and man, it was like black. And then they was like, we could put the dye in, and it's not going to do anything. He's like, put it in! Put it in!
I can imagine you and Cheek were just wonderful customers.
Oh, we were great. We were great.
I'm pretty sure y'all are like the quintessential people where the wait staff leaves and rolls their eyes and just lets you go.
So
whatever.
Even funnier about that. So they have
let them sing. They're fine.
At that restaurant, they have several different bands come in throughout the day that just play Irish tunes.
Okay,
like
nice.
all day long.
Okay.
So when we were there, Patty's happened to fall on a Saturday, so we started drinking hard. We ate something. I think we ate steak.
Okay.
And then we walked in and heard the band, and we were like, oh, snap. So we river danced through the whole restaurant. We met the people that were doing the band.
Okay.
And they were really cool. So we were asking if they could play a couple of songs, and they're like, yeah, here. And we're also doing tips. So it was like, give us that tip hat. We're going to go get you some tips. So we jigged through the entire restaurant with their tip hat and collected like $150 for them.
I'm sure they appreciated that.
Oh, dude, we were drunk. We didn't care.
I'm going to assure you, if I was somebody that was sitting down, I would have not appreciated that at all.
I don't really care.
Like, we pass the plate on Sundays. That's the only time that's acceptable.
And it's a plate. It ain't no hat.
It ain't no hat. We pass an actual plate. It's got to be sanctified to put your tips in it. Tips for the Lord.
Tips for Jesus.
Well, before we do that, let's get a little housekeeping out of the way. We are live in the doghouse.
We are
ready to go down south a little bit further tomorrow. So thanks for having me. Great
of
place.
Course.
Looking good in here. Reminder of course, Eccentric is one of our sponsors, our premier sponsor for the year. We appreciate all that they've done for us. Cocoa Cocktails is back on board.
Woohoo!
Love having those guys. And I tell you what, man, their new stuff looks legit.
Yeah, I'm still drinking some of my old stock that they got. They've just they revamped all the cans. They got 2 new flavors coming out.
Yep. Now we got new product already. We just haven't got through the old stuff yet.
Yeah, we're trying to kill all the old stuff off first before we bring the new stuff in.
Which, look, it's tough, right? It's tough to have.
It's a terrible burden, but I will gladly carry that burden for the team.
So you can go check out their website and you can get some stuff sent to you. I believe they're still able to do that. If you would like to if you want to sponsor the show,
you can sponsor it. Who cares?
Reach out, send us an email or whatever.
Yeah.
If you'd like to support the show, you can go over to Patreon and become one of our patrons, Hidden Brethren, or a live shipper. That gets you the extra episode once a month called The Hidden Revival. And that's kind of a labor of love for us because
The bonus podcast.
oh, it's fun, man. It's
a
really
wicked
enjoy it.
googly.
It's good times. I would encourage you. Look, now we haven't plugged this in a while. I'm gonna bring down the music for this. Get a little serious.
Oh snap! I didn't know we was getting serious up in there.
We haven't done this for a bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask a favor.
Oh no.
Subscribe to the podcast.
Okay, fair enough. I can
Wherever
do that.
you're listening, go to YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel,
All right, then.
and then leave us a review somewhere.
Okay.
So we kind of fell off on our reviews that we were getting. So
Well.
if a few of y'all that haven't done it already, just go leave us a review somewhere. We would greatly appreciate it. And then also, man, we want some more feedback. Send us some voicemails.
Yeah.
Send us an email. We got questions all through the episode we talk about. We talk about movies and television shows, goofy questions, beers.
Surely you got something.
We got cigars that we talk about, all kinds of stuff. If you got anything to add, shoot it to us, and we'll read it in the update segment at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Every time you send something in.
Right. Nice butte.
I mean, unless you're a Todd, Tom, or a Karen, then we're probably not going to read it.
Yeah. I mean, we might.
We
And then
might.
We might just crap all over you.
Speaking of that, you want to do a little on the wagon articles?
Well, I reckon so.
An Air Asia flight was diverted after passengers spotted a snake on their plane.
Nope. I'm tired of these mouth-foul snakes on these mouth-foul planes.
I bet you Samuel L. was not on that
Oh, I
particular
guarantee you Samuel L. wasn't on that one.
So the passengers on an Air Asia flight had their trip rerouted after spotting an uninvited passenger on the plane, and they took a picture of it. It's up in where you put your luggage. Well, there's
no.
light coming through there, and you can see the snake like making its way through the luggage rack.
So by diverted,
They-
by diverted, did they just
the pilot's like, nope, not today.
No, not today, Satan.
No, they made an emergency landing over this, and they were going to Malaysia, and they made an emergency landing in Tawau, and I have no idea how to pronounce that, but it's Tawau. And interestingly enough, the airline, Air Asia, did not immediately respond to comment because they were worried about security in some of their other planes.
Oh, good.
They
grief.
had anticipated that maybe there were more than just the one snake.
Now it was just one of them little dudes had a pack full of snakes in his overhead compartment, and they snuck out of his little bag,
Right?
and they were just running amok
Oh, that's pretty good. Now, I
because
find
they don't have the TSA over yonder.
yeah, that's true.
I'm pretty sure
I bet they have something like this.
some of them play well. I mean, I guarantee they do, but they're quite a bit more lax than it would be here.
Okay, you're probably right about that. I kind of went down a little rabbit hole, and apparently this isn't the first time this has happened.
Oh, maybe that's why they made a movie about it.
Maybe so, but there has been now I don't know how long ago since they've been collecting these records, because this is a kind of a strange thing to keep some stats on.
Right? How many snakes did you have on your plane?
Right.
0 this trip.
There have been 16 occurrences where planes have had to divert because there were snakes on the plane.
That's an issue.
That's a lot, right?
I
Snakes
thought
on
you were
planes.
gonna go like 4 or 5.
No, 16, bro.
That's a big issue. I mean, you should probably fumigate.
And my favorite is one time a snake found his way into the cockpit, and they made an emergency landing because of it. So I can just imagine that. You got the the door that's all specialized and nothing can get through. So you're feeling pretty good. You're Chuck Yeager
Yeah.
in it. We're gonna take on down the runway. Oh my God, is that a snake? Oh, we gotta land.
What kind of shit boxes are they driving?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I mean, if a snake can get into a sealed compartment,
Well, snakes are prone to get into stuff like that, every once in a while.
I guess, but dang.
I'm going to tell you what I'm going to be doing if I see a snake on a plane. If I'm on a plane at all, I'm definitely going to be wanting me some libations.
Oh yeah, faux show.
Should we get that underway?
Let's do it to it. Libations.
Now, I have to give a caveat because this particular beer has a story to it. And fortunately for us,
We have a story for the story.
We get sidetracked every once in a while. I don't know.
Every once in a while?
I don't know if
That's
y'all
generous.
realize that. But
That's generous.
So last week, we were supposed to go that night that we recorded to the brewery and find out the story behind this beer because it's right here in the Hub City.
Lubbock, yeah.
And so instead of that, we ended up on the couch watching movies and ordered pizza.
Yeah. We found them shows that I was telling you about. We watched a couple episodes of Good Guys.
And great show.
Yeah, I know. I told you you'd love it.
Now, look, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the beer. We're going to try the beer because we're in a rotation this month. So we couldn't finagle it another way. It has to be this week.
Right.
Next week in the updates, we'll let everybody know what's going on.
Yes.
So for Patty's Day, we'll reveal the backstory to this particular beer.
That's fair.
And with that illustrious build-up.
A little St. Patrick's Day present for you all.
There you go. How about you tell us what we're drinking today?
So what we're drinking is called...
I thought you lost your place there for a second.
I did. I was like, where am I going with this? I don't even know.
Haven't even cracked open a beer yet, man. What's the deal?
This beer has a brilliant name. I love the can.
Yeah, can's great.
It's called the Social Justice Warrior. It is a whiskey flavored milk stout. It's 7.5 ABV.
Wow.
It's coming from the brewery LBK. That's here in Lubbock.
Okay.
The website does have nothing on there for a description. So I think they try to draw you in with that. Like, come on.
Okay.
Come on in.
Yeah, makes sense.
Come
now,
have a drink with
The
me.
reason that I had so many questions about it is because when you hear social justice warrior, you don't equate that to conservative West Texas. Usually that's something completely different.
Yeah.
So the question was, what's the meaning behind the name? So we're going to find that out soon, and we'll give that information to you next week.
Again, a little St. Patrick's Day present for you guys.
Right. Just give you more of an incentive to listen
But
for
those
next
of
week.
you that are actually watching on the YouTube, here's the can art.
Oh, man, that's
it's
legit.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's got like a little Spartan helmet looking deal, and then a little, and I guess is that a little Celtic
Yep.
Celtic cross.
Celtic cross.
And it's red and black, my two favorite colors.
Pretty sweet, man.
So,
All right.
what says you?
Do we know anything about it? Do we have any
It's a whiskey flavored milk stout.
all we know is what's on the can. Okay.
That's what you get, sirs.
So when we do visit the brewery, I'm going to call over somebody who is of import at the brewery, and I'm going to let them know we are disappointed with the lack of descriptions that we find on their websites.
I will say on their website, it does say an Irish whiskey flavored milk stout, but it does say it's 6.7%.
Oh, that's
but
interesting.
These show 7.5. So is there
little-
some tomfoolery
little
afoot?
discrepancy there for whatever reason. I wonder if this was like the first brewing, and then now they have something
They
different.
kind of mellowed her down a little bit.
Maybe so.
Possibly.
All right. Well, let's give it a whirl. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right.
Ooh,
Smells delicious.
Yeah, it does.
Wow. That's
It definitely tastes more like an 8.5 almost.
it is stout. It is stout. It's
That's good because it's a milk stout.
You can definitely taste the lactose. It's definitely that milk stout sweet comes through.
I get raspberry. Do you?
Something like that.
Like some
I don't
sort
know
of
if I
bitter
would've-
berry?
I don't know if I would have pointed it out as that, but there's something for sure. I don't grab the whiskey right off the bat.
No, I don't either.
You kind of got to search for it after you get it down. It's kind of that lingers in your mouth a little bit. I think I can pick up on that just a touch, but not much.
Yeah.
So I was expecting kind of like a Scottish smoky ale.
Right.
Expecting that kind of a forward taste.
yeah.
And it's not that. It's really more of a true milk stout.
Well, yeah, it's almost like they took the milk stout and aged it in a whiskey barrel.
Yeah, that sounds.
Usually when you think of a whiskey flavored anything, you're like especially with the stouts.
Yep.
Some of the ones that we've had before have tasted like you took some Jameson, you dumped a quarter shot or
Yeah,
something.
that's true.
And it's powerful.
Yeah. Now this is probably 45 degrees, maybe a little colder than that.
Maybe a little bit cooler.
So It might blossom a bit as it warms. I like the flavor profile. It's not too sweet for me. And if I was going to order a milk stout, this would be what I was expecting. So I definitely don't hate it by any stretch. You seem concerned a bit.
There's a cacophony of flavors, like from the beginning once it hits your palate to when it starts washing down. There's like 5 different flavors in there that I can't put my finger on.
Yep, I agree.
And I
it's
just
interesting once
don't know that I like it.
Really? Once you finish it and then like you breathe in again, you can get a different flavor.
Yeah.
Once you breathe in, like whatever's
super
left.
weird.
Yeah, it is strange. Look, I don't
super cool experience.
Yep, I don't dislike it at all. I'm anxious to try when we do go. Hopefully they have it on tap, and that might present a whole nother level of
very well could
of flavor to it. I dig it. You know me in cans. Props to the can.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool
for sure.
And I don't know, man. I like it. I'm gonna keep drinking it. I think it's pretty good.
And now, when I said I didn't like it,
well, we all know
I didn't like the fact that I couldn't put my finger on what the flavors were.
And we all
do
know
like this beer.
You're gonna keep drinking it. I mean, we all know that.
Even if it's a garbage beer, I'm still gonna drink the whole thing.
We watched you finish off like 5 tall boy domestics.
Yeah. Hey, don't judge me, monkey.
Well, I'm judging because that was rough to watch, my friend. Well, this is definitely not that. And for a ranking, I'm gonna go a little higher than the Killian's last week.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put this around a 76. 76.
So just a smidge higher than the Killian's?
I'm gonna go 77, and I'm gonna give it 1 point because it comes in the pint size, and I do like that. I like that
so
little.
you're one of them's guys.
Yeah, I like that little extra European flair, I guess.
Okay.
Have you any idea on price point?
I do. 15 for a 4-pack.
Okay, so it's up there a little bit.
It's a little pricier. However, it's got a higher ABV, and it is a craft beer.
That's right.
So when it gets to the craft side of things, I kind of am slightly forgiving, unless you're going to charge me like $20 for a 4-pack.
You know, even let's say 20. I mean, you're looking at $5 a beer.
Sure.
And it's what you're going to pay when you go in anyway.
So if not more than that.
If it doesn't necessarily bother me, but it's not one you can go to the store and justify, every weekend.
Right.
$20
Yeah,
for
it's not
4 beers.
It's not pick up 3-4 packs.
That's right.
And
Probably,
get blasted.
You're gonna share with your good friends.
Yeah, this is the and I don't know why you're getting one.
Oh.
Hey, Bazinga!
That's messed up, bro.
It's all right. I
It
still
happens.
love you.
What are you thinking?
So I went with an 80 on the Killian's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got it up there.
I loved the Killian's. I loved it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Right. Both of us did.
This one,
Come on, Tonto, spit it out.
The price point is there. The can art is there. Flavors got me.
Right?
I'm going to go 87.
Dang, son, you're getting way up there.
Because this is one I will certainly be buying again.
Okay.
And it's just enough where I can have, I guarantee you I can have one of these and be good. Because it hits heavy. I mean,
it does.
I can already feel this is maybe 2 and be full.
Yeah, if you had
like
2,
a meal in a can.
Yeah, if you had 2 of these back to back, you'd be doing pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Or maybe not so good, depending on how you handle that.
I'm gonna be working on this, trying to figure out what these damn flavors are because it's bugging me.
All right, and then we'll give an update next episode in the update segment. We'll let everybody know kind of what we find out about it because the name's great.
Korea.
Hopefully, you're not watching on YouTube because that's disturbing.
Or it's just got a lot moisture in there.
Oh, yikes! And on that friendly note, let's do a little question and answer.
Say, let me ask you something.
2 good questions.
Yes.
And both coming in from interesting folks from interesting perspectives.
Correct.
I went first last time. So, Mr. Beasy, how about you take the floor?
I reckon I'll do that. So Amy asks, I accidentally opened the package of my 14-year-old daughter, and it contained multiple adult toys.
Ooh.
What should I do?
Yikes, that's 14?
14. I want to say first and foremost, you probably should pay better attention to your bank statements and your credit card statements. Because you're probably going to notice that. Wow. What is this order from Adam and Eve?
Adam and Eve. So in my little bitty conservative town, some guys bought this landing pad right next to the Walmart, and they're going to build something there, but they hadn't got there yet.
Right.
But as a prank, the guy who bought it, he brought in one of those large shipping containers, and somebody had retired a billboard for Adam and Eve, and it was very scandalous. And he just put it up on this thing, and he wrote on the bottom, "Coming soon."
Dude, that is brilliant.
Oh, it was hilarious. Dude, the city council got involved. Like they called him.
Oh, hell no. We're not getting one of them Adam and Steve's or Adam and Eve's or whatever it is. It's just a devil store.
They had to take out a section of the paper why they sent the sheriff over there to make him take this thing down. It was a huge scandal. It was hilarious.
That is freaking awesome.
I'll show you later because I still got a picture of it on my phone. It's classic.
That's tops.
So, all right. So 14 years old. The first thing that comes to mind is she just goofing around with some of her friends? And this is something to do just to do.
Doo-doo.
No, don't go there. But I mean, seriously, like 14, it's just a gag. Like maybe you're gonna hand one off in the hallway or something. Like a race, passing the torch.
Have you seen those? Some of them TikToks and whatnot where they'll just drive around and throw those dildos.
Oh, God.
And stick them to people's windshields when they're driving.
I've definitely not seen that. And I can't believe that you're making me sit in the podcast where we've already mentioned that. Anyway,
you're welcome.
It's bad. Sorry to my little church ladies that don't have any idea what we're talking about. Just carry on. Do your
good Google search.
Please don't do that. I'm going to get fired. So maybe it's a joke, but
highly doubt it. 14 is...
Yeah.
That's kind of from what I've been told. Mine's only 2 right now, so I have no idea. But that's kind of coming into age. Coming into age and experimenting.
Man, I hate to think of 14-year-olds experimenting to that level. Like, gracious,
better than 8-year-olds, dude.
That's good. That's good. Hey, he's a pederast. So look, conversation for sure. You need to have a conversation.
Oh yeah.
Regardless of what you think or what's actually going on, you need to have a conversation.
I tell you what you need to do. You need to call your bank, whatever it was purchased on,
right,
and tell them to reverse the charges and tell them that your daughter ordered this stuff and keep it for yourself.
Oh, weird. It got really weird.
Free toys.
Yuck. Gross.
She hadn't used them.
I don't know, but she thought about it, and that would stick with you, I would think. I mean,
people are thinking about sex left and right.
I know.
All around the world.
Look,
at all ages.
I understand that. Well, not all ages.
Well, most ages.
For the first part and the last part, I don't think you're thinking about that very much. I could be wrong about that, but for the most part, I figure those birds probably not, attacking your brain hole there.
Well, fair enough.
So maybe take a look at who she's hanging around.
Yeah,
that may be something. I think you need to do a little detective work before you just come unhinged.
Does she have a boyfriend?
Does she have a boyfriend? Does she have a group of folks that are very close knit that maybe they're sharing things with each other?
Is she getting into a cult?
Ooh, that's a good question. I haven't thought about that. Maybe this is the entry. So instead of a gang where you have to go kill somebody, you have to
get jumped in.
Something. Freaking old man Zoran up there that runs the cult.
Zoran. Dude, I love that name. Old man Zoran, the leader of the cult.
That's the entry. That's the entry point. And coincidentally, none of the other men can have sex with anybody. Just Zoran. That's just the way it goes. I mean, cult's pretty good for the guy that's on top.
Sometimes literally.
Oh, gracious. All right.
Well, I will say,
getting into the weeds.
I mean, if there's bondage gear that was purchased, you probably don't want to give her a spanking.
Oh God, bro! I really thought you were going somewhere with some merit there on that. And that,
I mean, that could be merit. Merit.
It's a hard
Merit.
It's a hard question to talk about.
It is.
Without becoming a little bit untoward over the situation, because it's pretty delicate. Now, if we're talking about a 30-year-old, it's different, and you shouldn't be going through her mail.
Well, yeah, because if you do that, that's a felony.
What if
in Texas, anyways?
I don't know if she's underage. I would assume you're her guardian, so I would think that would be okay. And also, she ordered it with your credit card. Allegedly.
You signed that thing when she was born.
That's right.
So she's under contract. So she really just is buying it for you.
And eventually you're going to get paid back for that anyway.
I mean, especially if she becomes famous.
Yeah, so I think you're all right. Just ignore it. It'll be what it is.
Just,
Good luck.
Just push it under the rug. Sweep that under the couch. Nobody needs to remember this.
It's just like everything else, man. Just bottle it up inside. Don't just push it down. Push it down further and further, and then enjoy your grandchild, because you're going to get one here pretty quick.
It's coming pretty soon, I reckon.
Yikes. So I'm going to pull the plane out of this question real fast so we don't dive into the side of the mountain. I'm going to go to question number 2.
Okay.
Question 2 comes from Lars.
Lars
asks, if I hire a hitman to kill me and he fails, could I be arrested for attempted murder?
Wait. So Lars hires a hitman to kill him?
Yep. Lars no longer wants to live, but he doesn't want to do it himself. So he hires somebody through like the hitman, dark web. And then he fails.
Hitman.com.
And he gets caught.
You and me, baby, at hitman.com.
And so, hey, that's a new sponsor, I think. And so they take the hitman to the interrogation room.
You don't have to be lonely at hitman.com. You can now be lonely with hitman.com. You can now be lonely with hitman.com.
What if it was the opposite? Like, whether or not you know it, you're never alone with hitman.com.
Ooh, that's got that little creeper vibe.
Yeah, it does. A little.
I like it.
Yeah. I saw a pretty good quote the other day that said something along the lines of, you're not scared of the dark. You're scared of being not alone in the dark.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
Most definitely.
I hope I didn't steal a ponder this, because that one's pretty good.
That was actually in my list of things, but it's so far down the road. It's probably going to come up. We won't remember.
So, again, in the interrogation room, the hitman, he comes clean, and he sells out old Lars. And so,
was the hitman an actual hitman, or was it an undercover cop?
I'm going to go with an actual hitman that got caught, and he spills his beans. And then he reveals that Lars is the one who hired him, presents the paper trail. Here's the money, blah, blah, blah. Here's the bank account. Proves that he did, in fact, hire him to kill him.
He hired me to kill him.
And so, what are the charges?
I think he still gets charged for conspiracy to commit murder.
Yeah. Look, suicide technically is not legal. It's not legal to take your own life.
No.
So that is a crime. So even if you say, well, I want to commit suicide and this is how I choose to do it, well, you're hiring somebody to commit said crime.
Is this Zoran? Maybe this is one of Zoran's followers.
See, I was thinking this is Zoran later in life when the cult's going belly up.
It's going belly up.
And he knows he's got to get out.
I was thinking different, where it was this dude was married and Zoran was hitting on that dude's wife. They were both in like hardcore into this cult.
Wow. So you
Zoran's
really
like,
got
look,
the backstory going.
Here's that's how this mind works, bro. It's a beautiful mind. So Zoran's like, look, I know you've got a life insurance policy, and if I were to kill him, it would look suspicious on the cult.
Right.
And you can't kill him because clearly you're suspect number one.
Okay.
So let me slide you a number. This is a friend of mine. You can you don't have to be lonely at hitman.com. So you can contact him. He'll take you out.
Okay.
We can collect the insurance money, and then the cult will prosper.
Just prosper?
Well, yeah, that's just one. That's just one of the groups, or one couple in the cult.
I'm sorry, I got to deal with a technical issue real quick.
Clearly, I'm trying to figure out what you're doing.
Sorry about that. I had to rescue a battery from dying.
Oh.
But we're good now. I don't know if it would affect anything, but just our luck if the battery did die. That
Everything's just...
Yeah, it'd go. Well, we'd have to start hiring a hitman from a hitman.com.
Well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
So I'm going to go with yes, you would be arrested for something.
Sure.
Maybe not attempted murder, but conspiracy to commit a crime or something like that.
No, if there was a good enough lawyer, they could say conspiracy to commit murder.
Okay, so
Even though you're going to have yourself murdered.
you're going to murder yourself.
You're going to have yourself murdered.
Okay, all right, quick question. No, I'm going to deal with this in Cinemize because this is interesting that this has come up.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask this question in Cinemize, but remind me when we deal with Castle. Remind me.
Okay.
If I don't remember, remind me of that. So I think, yes, Lars, don't do this because it's possibly going to come back on you.
Yeah, most likely will.
Yep.
Or either way, it's coming back on you. You're either catching a bullet or you're going to jail.
That's a good point. I mean, regardless, the outcome's not good for old Lars.
I mean, if that's the outcome you want is deathithus.
Yep.
When the cops come after you because the hitman said, oh, yeah, it's this guy. He hired me to kill himself. I'll just do suicide by police.
Bro, what if that's your insurance policy? Like, you for sure want to commit suicide.
But you can't commit suicide?
So you hire a guy, and you think, well, even if that fails, the cops are going to show up, and I'll just go out guns a-blazing. So you
I'm telling you, it's the insurance.
you got all your bases covered.
It all boils down to insurance.
It's redundancy. It's
Telling
redundancy.
you.
All right, man. Well, speaking of this, it's interesting that it's going to roll right into our Cinemize for today.
Cool.
Love that recorder, bro.
Yep.
And when we first started playing with that particular music, I would giggle every time. And I get kind of desensitized to it.
Yeah.
But when you go back and you listen to the old episodes, it still cracks me up.
Yeah.
Like when I'm just listening to it. So
Yeah.
you're welcome. And that's one of the few that we have not been flagged for. So apparently whoever uploaded that to YouTube, they don't care if we use it. So
Good on
we're
them.
going to keep using it. All right. So Cinemize this week is actually no movies,
Correct.
television shows, and we're going to do in the cop world. So I said cop drama and kind of
Crime TV
easy,
show.
yeah.
Crime cop TV dramas.
So we kind of just elaborated a little bit on that what would you call it, topic, I guess.
Yeah.
So BC, I'm going to allow you to go first.
You're going to allow me?
I'm going to allow you.
Oh, snap.
I allow it. I allow it.
I played fifth.
Which might get you off on attempted murder.
Oh.
I saw the innuendo light up in your eyes
Yep,
as soon as I saw it. You're like a kid in a candy store, bro. Oh my gracious.
Oh, I love me.
Okay, let's get away from that and let's talk about a little TV cop drama.
Cool. So they've made 1 billion spinoffs of their show.
Okay.
And most all of them are great if you like this show. But CSI,
Okay.
I started with just the regular old CSI back in the day.
You're
Great
right.
show.
Right.
And then they did Horatio with CSI Miami.
Nice. Miami.
And we still, to this day, will be, if I have some dirty one-liner or just a shit dad joke, I'll cut it in half and say, that's right. And then I'll put my shades on just like Horatio. And then I'll go, and just because it's so perfect.
It really
It's
is.
so perfect.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Great show. I loved that one. NCIS.
Yeah.
They've done a couple of spinoffs on that one as well.
Right.
I didn't care for them. I only got a couple episodes in, but I mean, just the OG. I mean, you can't beat that one.
And what's the main dude's name?
Yeah.
Yep, that guy. He's perfect for that role.
Yeah.
And, as the seasons go on, it kind of progresses and digs into that character a bit. Like he's building a boat in his basement. And
just this monstrosity of your boat. You're like, bro, you can't get that out.
How are you going to get that out of here?
You gotta pull the house off just to get that damn boat out of here.
And if I'm not mistaken, that show was not over.
Grissom? No.
Grisham?
Grisham was the original one. No, that was CSI.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But anyway, that show's still going. Is that right?
I believe so.
We should have done a little bit more research.
Why?
I don't know. It's fun. It's funner this way.
We leave these things open-ended like this so you listeners can tell us where we're screwing up.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about it in the updates.
Where they go.
Win.
So we're idiots.
Okay, so NCIS.
NCIS is a great one. So probably one of my favorite cop drama, or no, not really a drama. It was a cop comedy sitcom, and it only had like 1, maybe 2 seasons. The Good Guys.
Nice.
Introduced this one to you the other day.
Pretty legit.
Dude, that's
and I thought,
such an awesome show.
I wonder why it was only...
The cast is stellar.
I find myself here all the time.
Yeah.
When you watch a good show, but it's got 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And you think, what in the world
How
happened?
did this not succeed?
That's crazy. So there's a lot of those, but that was a good one for sure.
Yeah.
And I look forward to finishing that one.
Yeah, and if you haven't checked it out, it's called The Good Guys. It's got Colin Hanks and Bradley Whitford in it. Phenomenal show. Phenomenal.
All right, so that's 3.
Okay, next one.
Okay.
And I know you've watched this one. Blacklist.
Oh, yeah.
James Spader.
Yep.
The entire premise.
Yes.
I'm like, dude, I want to start committing crimes and being so badass. I want to build my own criminal empire.
Of course.
And just be so... Well, money's never an issue.
Right.
I mean, dude, that would be so cool.
It's strange that this one didn't come up when we were talking about it, but that premise that you just said that I want to do that reminds me of White Collar. Because I'm always like, oh, man.
Oh, dude.
If I could be as cool as that guy, I would have
the
it
other
made.
one. I don't know why that's not on my list, but I had
What a great show.
huge man crush on, what's his face?
Yeah,
Matt Bomer.
He swings that way, so you might have a shot.
Yeah, he does.
There you go.
But dude,
Good luck.
that is another phenomenal show.
Very good show. And I love the fact that Kelly just randomly shows up on that show.
Kelly.
Yeah. Saved by the Bell, bro.
Oh, Kapowski?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me happy.
That's his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Great show.
The next one I had was another one that I don't know that Netflix is going to continue because I heard some stuff that they may not go with a 3rd season.
Oh, no.
Mindhunter.
Yeah, I think it's done.
I know. It hurts my feelers because that show, I had seen the very first season when it came out.
Quickly.
Yeah.
We watched it in
a
one
weekend.
day.
Yeah.
It was great.
We watched the entire thing. And then not too much longer after that, I really got into some of the time suck. I went back to some of the serial killer episodes and some of that stuff. And then season 2 comes out, and you're like, oh my God. They did such a good job on that show, man.
I agree.
Such a good job.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, I think it's done. I'm pretty sure that coffin's got his final nail in it, and it's a shame. The first season, just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with what we're talking about, Dan Cummins' podcast called Time Suck. He's got all of these episodes on serial killers and cults and blah, blah, blah. And it really pairs well. If you like that true crime, you would love that podcast if you haven't checked it out. It's one of the folks that really kind of got us where we thought, well, we could probably
do
it. So love that podcast. Very good. You got a 5th one?
No, that's, minus White Collar, but you already brought that one up. So that was mine.
So mine has one that you know for a fact I'm going to mention because it's boring and slow.
Oh, good grief.
But also,
if you say Law and Order?
No, not Law and Order. I didn't care for Law and Order, to be honest with you.
So
not
growing up, my God, I've probably watched 200-300 of those stupid episodes.
Maybe so.
Because it's just background noise. Every episode's the same.
Yep. And a lot of these shows, every episode's the same. It follows similar premise. But
I just like the actors better on certain ones. So I'm sticking with that show.
Well, that brings me to mind, Blue Bloods. I think the actors on that are phenomenal. Do you remember? You remember Lord of War with
Jared Leto?
No, Lord of War.
Yeah,
the movie.
Yeah, Jared Leto.
Oh,
and
he
Nick
is
Cage.
in that. That's right, with Cage. Well, you remember Cage's wife?
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
Cage is so brilliant in that. I forgot all the other cast. But his wife in that movie is also in Blue Bloods, so she's great.
Okay.
You got Tom Selleck, which is just, I mean...
It's Tom Selleck.
Who could go wrong with Tom Selleck's
Even
mustache?
his mustache is there. It's all right. Bring your mustache.
It's got old Marky Mark's brother, randomly, which is pretty awesome. And he's good, man.
I forget he's in that show.
He's really good, too. I like it. So, love Blue Bloods. And in that same vein, I got to mention the Andy Griffith Show. That's one of my favorite shows of all time. I could go back and watch all of those episodes. I really dig it. And it's just the old man in me, I think. I like it.
When people say, yeah, I'm just an old soul.
I'm not an old soul. I'm legit an
You're
old man.
just an old bastard.
All right, number 3, Castle.
Okay, you said something about, remind you about Castle.
All right, so...
Because I didn't care for that show.
Really?
I only got a couple episodes in. Which sucks
So
because
good.
and I might go back and rewatch this just because it's Nathan Fillion.
So his, have you seen his new show, The Rookie?
No.
Another cop show, really good. He's like a 45-year-old guy that quits his previous employment and is a rookie in the LAPD.
Well, first off, I'm gonna call bullshit.
What?
Because they have cutoff limits on age.
Well, they deal with that in the show, so you'll have to watch it.
Oh snap!
It's good though. It's really good, and he's
did.
great. He's fantastic. So in Castle, every time they would always say, "Well, we have a murder, and we got to go to the scene at the very beginning." Now that's what I say to my wife. I do that voice saying that, but I have no idea why we say that or where that comes from. So I was hoping you could clear the air on that particular
no
issue.
idea.
Really? Because I told her, I was like, well, I say that because Beezy says that. And Beezy must have got that from somewhere. So you're influencing me, I'm influencing her, and basically have no idea why we do that.
It's something from TV or movie.
I know it has to be, but I don't know what it is.
I'm here to solve the murder.
So the premise on Castle, at the beginning of every episode, they have a little intro, and then they always get like a phone call or a text, and like, well, we have a murder, and then they go,
We've got a murder.
and so I always say that, a murder, and I was like, I was blaming it on you. I was hoping you had the answer to that.
No.
All right.
I thought there for a short bit when you were going on about that, I was like, well, shit, maybe I stole it from him.
Nope.
And then the vicious cycle begins and somebody ends up murdered.
We'll figure it out. Maybe somebody out there can help us with that.
Hopefully so.
Okay, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh my God.
Yeah, buddy, eat it.
Dude,
Eat that up. How did
completely
that not make your list?
And we just got done watching that show.
Oh, it's a good one.
So, hey,
One of my favorites.
So the I forget her name in the show. The Hispanic.
Yeah. The
curly-haired-
crazy lady.
Yeah, her actual name is Stephanie.
Okay.
Beatrice, something like that.
Sure. Yep.
So, being a dad.
Okay.
The movie right now is Encanto.
What is that?
It's a Disney movie.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
little Disney
So
cartoon.
it's like the latest sing along.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, gotcha.
But she actually does the voice of the main character on that movie.
Really?
Mirabel Madrigal.
Okay.
She does all the singing.
Really?
And the wife, the producer told me this. And I was like, no way. Because you don't, like, I'll show you this evening. We'll do a couple of snippets of it.
Okay.
And you're like, there's no way that's her.
And it is her.
And it's legit her. And she sings the shit out of this.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, brilliant movie.
Okay.
And I think I'm only saying that because I've seen it about 1,000 times.
Okay, fair enough. I bet you have.
But the music is super catchy.
So I don't have a children's, right?
Right.
But I did have a niece that was growing up.
niece's?
Yeah, in the Elsa world. So I do remember, even as the cool uncle, I still got plenty of Let It Go. Plenty of it.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me close with one that was another show that I believe should have had more, but I think it only had 2 seasons.
Okay.
Very serious and slow, methodical, right up my alley,
Ugh.
and British.
Oh.
Broadchurch.
I knew you were going with that one.
It's great.
That's David Tennant, right?
No, that's the Doctor Who dude, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know British actors very well. I do recognize him. And then, do you remember Hot Fuzz?
Yes.
Which, if we were doing movies, that would definitely make the cut.
Definitely.
Great police movie.
Yes.
Do you remember the lady cop who's always making off-color jokes?
She's in that one?
She's in that. Very serious. And then also she plays the Queen in the Netflix series The Queen. which is crazy because I know her from Hot Fuzz where she's making sex jokes the whole time. And then the next time we watch her on, she's in the
Super serious roles.
But yeah, Broadchurch is fantastic. And the whole premise is, they solve one crime per season. They focus on one crime. They go through all the ins and outs, and they solve. It's really good.
Well, on
really
that note, then I want to also add, I've 2 honorable mentions.
Okay.
Sticking with the British, how they kind of do that weird structure.
Okay.
Definitely not, I say weird, not Americanized structure.
Okay. It's different.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
With Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yep. It's pretty good.
And I'm surprised I actually said that
I
right.
am too.
I never say his name right.
Yeah. We always use explicitives.
Yeah. So, dude, that show is phenomenal.
It is really good. And again, that British style really comes out in any of those shows that are slow.
Yeah.
They're not attention grabbing. They don't have a premise that they follow. Every episode's a little bit different.
Yep.
And that's not an American thing.
Yeah.
So you take NCIS, you take Castle, you take all these shows we've talked about. They're very similar. You have an intro, you have the murder, you have the investigative process, and in the investigative process, they always pin one dude who's innocent, and then they find the guilty guy. Uh-huh. It's the same
Everybody
thing.
knows. Yeah, it's not him. That's the first guy they talked to.
Over and over and over
Definitely
again.
not him.
Yep. All right. Well, you had 2.
The last one.
Okay.
And I'm surprised we didn't bring this one up.
Well, we are.
Dexter.
Oh, Dexter. Yeah, Dexter's good.
I heard that I know they brought it back. And my mom is the one that told me about this.
That's interesting.
And she said it wasn't good. Like the re-seasoned finale or whatever.
Okay, so the reason they needed to do it, because the ending of the original series was so bad
Yeah.
that they had to do something.
Yeah.
Like it ended on such a bad note that it literally tainted the whole show. The whole show was great up until the last season, and it ended so horribly. Yep. So they had to reamp it. Well, it still didn't hit parameters.
Uh-huh.
And I think
that's why it's not on the list.
Maybe so. I haven't watched the new season for that reason.
Yeah.
Like, I was so disheartened with the way it ended, and now that I have heard things that it's not just like mind-blowing. I don't know.
It's not Dexter.
I tell you what, the first 3 seasons of that particular show, man.
Good grief, dude.
Yep. Very good stuff.
Good stuff.
All right. You ready to do a little Thank You Blinders?
Get on out. Thank you, Blinders.
Dang.
Almost. So close.
I even had a cigar too light.
So close, but no cigar. Is that where the term comes from?
I don't know. I doubt it, but we can make it our own.
Could
my
be.
friend. All right, I'm going to go first and ask you a question.
Okay.
And if you're new to the show, Thank You Blinders is something that we do blind, ask questions towards each other. All the other questions we talk about before we kind of go into the episode, but Thank You Blinders is just that. It's blind. So Mr. Beezy has a young Beezy, a BZN, whatever, a female Beezy that is 3
Beezy's unisex.
3 years old.
2.
Really? Just 2?
2.5.
I'm a terrible uncle. I should know how old your child is.
You're a garbage person altogether.
All
And
right.
we hate you.
Do you think your child would be better off living a life of luxury or a life of adversity or some mixture of the two? And if it is a mixture, what's the percentage?
100% what she's doing right now.
Which is what, terrorizing the neighborhood?
Yeah. Yeah. She's got 100% luxury right now. She's not paying anything.
She's a baby.
She's not contributed to the household.
Okay, well, you say that, but you don't let her eat whatever she wants. You don't let her sleep whenever she wants. You don't let her
If
run
we
the
could get
house.
her ass to sleep, yeah. Hell yeah. She sleep whenever she wants.
That's fair. That's a fair point. But point is, spoiled versus a little bit of adversity. Now here's the backdrop to this question. I'm a big Rogan fan, as both of us are.
Sure.
A lot of times he's in that age bracket where he has guests on that are raising children. And a lot of times the guests that he has on, and him himself, they're wealthy. And so they're dealing with this issue of, well, I was raised with no money.
Yeah.
And I struggled in my early life, and that made me work hard to get where I am.
Oh, yeah.
But now that I'm wealthy, my children don't have to go through that. But if they don't go through that, are they going to be adults that I would want to hang around? And it's a really good question. And if that, and then what do you do about it?
Well, see, here's the deal. And I'm a firm believer in this because I've known some friends growing up in high school whose families were wealthy.
Okay.
And one of my really good friends, you remember him, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
His dad was wealthy.
Okay.
But his dad said, well, this is my wealth.
Ah.
You need to get out there and make a name for yourself as well.
Okay.
I'm going to help you. I'm not going to shun you altogether, but
Right.
you need to step out, do your thing, make money yourself.
Okay.
Be successful on your own. Don't ride my coattails.
Okay.
I'm 1,000% behind that.
All right.
Even if I don't, because I'm not poor, but I'm not.
You're not opulent.
I like that word.
That's
opulent.
good. Not yet.
I feel like that should have like a little pearlescent sheen that comes off when you say it. I'm not opulent.
Is there anything now? Granted, when you have a child, you're kind of living in the moment. You're not thinking a lot of times for the future. But is there anything that you've thought about maybe how to add some adversity to an otherwise fairly comfortable life? Your daughter's not ever going to starve, but is there some adversity that you may kind of build around her so she has to struggle? Hunting's a great one.
Hunting is the one thing that I really want to instill in my child. One, because if she's ever in a situation, she will know how to provide for herself.
Right.
Two, just because it's a dying art. I mean, people aren't going out and teaching their kids how to hunt anymore. I mean, I say that. It is, but it's still it's
very small.
It's a fractionally smaller.
Yes. Now it is growing right now, which is different than it's been doing for like the last 60 years.
Fair.
But it's growing because of folks like Rogan, Steven Ranella, and those Adam Greentree and some of the others that are talking about the lessons that are learned in that pursuit. And I think as a child, look, when I was growing up, we hunted all the time.
Yeah.
And when you're in the wilderness and you're looking at a turkey or a deer or an elk or whatever it is, that animal doesn't care about who you are, doesn't care about your house, it doesn't care about your family. The barrier between you and nature is 0-0.
It just smells your stinky ass.
That's all it is. And it's pass fail. It's lose or win. There is no participation trophy.
1,000%.
You're either successful or you're not. You're going to outsmart that animal or you don't.
Yeah, agreed.
And some people will say, well, if you have a rifle, then it doesn't count. I'm going to tell you something.
You ain't never hunted.
Yeah,
that's somebody that has never actually gone out and done an elk hunt.
Right.
A Colorado Rockies elk hunt. They have never done that. I guarantee it. Yep. What they do is they'll see these ones, they're high fence private farms. Or they go out and do those. Hunt's super easy.
Yeah, sit in the feeder.
I just sit there in the feeder and it won't rock up. I go poo, 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 poo.
And what, in all honesty, if you hunt in Texas, a lot of times you're hunting over a feeder. So I get all that.
I have nothing wrong with that.
Nope, me neither.
Because especially where we're at, West Texas, we harvest. We eat that meat. That is food for our family.
Yep. And it's a great way to manage wildlife.
Yeah, exactly.
You get to see what you're shooting. You know what's coming in. You know what's on your property.
Yep.
It's a good way to cull. It's a good way to take old, mature animals out of the population.
Yeah.
I don't want to get off on the hunting rant, but hunting is a great one. And talk about life lessons learned in a hard way.
For sure.
I can't think of very many other things that would even come close to that. That's a good one.
That's from the very get-go. When I found out I was having a girl, I was like, well, at least I'm going to have a hunting buddy in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Because I can't count on the pine wood.
We are going to do that midnight pig hunting. That's
that's going to happen.
Yeah. All right. What you got?
Where is it? Oh, okay, here you go. You die.
Yeah, sad.
You get to ask God the answer to any great mystery. Unsolved murder,
Okay.
question about science, anything at all.
All right.
What do you ask? And what do you suspect the answer is going to be?
Ooh. Let me start with what I suspect the answer
Let me
is gonna
start your question with a question.
Not a question. I don't worry about what I'm going to ask God. I worry a great deal about what
What he's
God's
gonna
going to
ask
ask me. Like, what did you do with your life? Were you faithful? Did you do what I asked you to do? Those are
Sorry, God, that's the incorrect answer. We were looking for murder.
What is the capital of Asteria? Okay, so by the way, that was a super deep cut. Hopefully somebody gets
Yep.
that. I think the biggest question that all theologians go to is the question of,
What do women want?
I don't think God knows that.
I don't know. I just gave her a rib. I can't be held responsible for that. I'm all knowing, but I mean, let's be honest.
I was in for a rib. What happened after that? I got nothing.
I mean, I'm omnipotent in all, but seriously, there's even some things I can't figure out.
No, I think the answer, well, original sin is probably where I would go. You created a being that is on par with, well, we're higher than the angels, it says, right? I mean, we're second to God, but yet we're fallen, and you have to come rescue us out of that fallen state. Did you not see that coming? Was there not a better way to deal with that? Why do we have to suffer on earth because of that mistake? I think that original sin question is really where the crux of everything falls on. That question, to me, would answer all questions. If you get to the bottom of that question, then the rest of it, I think, would become fairly apparent pretty quick. And I don't think, I mean, there's definitely not an answer we can have that's of any consolation on earth, but maybe in that moment, he could give you the knowledge, and you'd be like, oh, well, yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense, but it's still strange.
I figured you would be like, I'm already in heaven, right? So
That is a question.
Any question?
Am I outside the gate or?
So I'm let me make this clear. I'm 100% in. I've got it in.
No take backsies.
No take backsies. I'm good. Okay. My question: can I have a Coke?
Can I have a Coke? Another great deep cut. Wow, we've had some bangers on that particular. All right, I tell you what. I will send a shirt, any shirt you want out of the merch store, if you can name one. If you can name one of those deep cuts.
Oh, I already know like 3 people that are going to be able to answer that one.
All right, man. Good. Thank you, Blinders. Love to hear your opinions on any of these questions that we have so far. Let's close with a little Pastor and the Heathen. We'll get out of here.
Cute.
The Pastor and the Heathen.
Strange question this week coming from old BZ.
It is.
Did you pull this one out of the top of your old noggin?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Let's hear it.
Are religion and science ever at odds?
Oh, that's a good question. I think
No, that's why I asked it.
I'm just going to wade in. How about that?
Okay.
They can't be.
How's that?
True religion and true science can never be at odds. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying that Christianity is the truth and certain science is the truth. That's not what I'm saying. So get that construct out of your mind for a second.
Okay.
I'm talking about the truth, whatever the truth is. So truth with a capital T. They have to align with each other. If they're true, they can never be at odds with one another. They have to be on the level. I would say philosophy, religion, science, the true form of those issues all have to line up. And if they don't line up, well, there's an untruth in there somewhere.
Oh, this could get dirt. This might actually have to be a two-parter.
We might.
Because you got my brain spinning.
Let's take just a for instance. So let's take Ken Ham's version of world events. Are you familiar with
Canned
that guy?
ham?
Not canned
Like
ham.
spam?
Yeah, exactly. Let's take old Spam's version of the world. No, Ken Ham. He's the guy who did the what they call the Noah project. He built an ark. Like you can go up and
wow.
So he took the
Evan
biblical
Almighty?
Close. He took the dimensions that are in Scripture and he built a replica of the ark.
Okay.
And you can go visit it. Weird dude, right?
What?
He's also a young Earth theorist. So he believes the Earth's between 6,000 and 8,000 years old. Okay, now let's say. Okay, so here, but
I mean, carbon dating itself we'll say that's incorrect.
He brings up a bunch of issues with carbon dating, and I would argue there are some issues with carbon dating. But let's just take his truth claim on the science front, that the Earth is 6,000 years old. His religion believes the Earth is also 6,000 years old. So if that's true, if that is the absolute truth, that is exactly the way it happened, then his science and his religion are true, and they correspond with each other.
They don't conflict.
Because it is the truth.
But
if he's wrong about his science, then they're no longer true.
I think if he were to take his science and his faith and try to put two of each kind on that ark that he built, he would know that's probably going to fill up faster than what's available on Earth.
You're silly.
So then the science is going to be like, bro, you can't fit that many animals on this boat.
What I'm saying is if the truth is there, and I'm not talking about what you believe to be true, but true science and true religion, true philosophy, they have to line up. And when they don't line up, well, there's issues with the truth. So if you don't believe in a old Earth, if you don't believe the Earth is 8 billion years old, and it turns out the truth with the capital T is the Earth really is that old, well, you're not believing in the truth. There's a problem with your truth claim. And therefore, the truth between your religion and science doesn't line up, and therefore they're not correct. But if you believe that your religion works with the true science, they're both true. Does that
So
make
basically
sense?
what you're skating around is...
I'm not skating around anything. I'm telling you
yes
exactly
and
what...
no.
No.
Yes and no. So yes, they are at odds if religion and science aren't true.
But see, but they're not at odds because they're not true. You say religion... That's the kicker. You say religion and science, and I'm talking about religion and science with capital R and capital S, the true science. True science. It has to be true. And religion with a capital R, whatever it is, whether it's, Xenon or whoever he is up there. Zoran, he's ruling, his comet or whatever. That's the truth. Well, eventually, those things have to line up. And if they don't line up, well, then one of them or both of them are not true. If they are true, they have to line up.
You took it really semantic on this.
Not really. Here's the final point that I'm driving at. In order to have a truth claim, you have to constantly be testing your beliefs, whether it's scientific, whether it's philosophical, or religious. And if you're not constantly testing it, then what happens whenever you run up against evidence that suggests that your belief is no longer true? If it's true, it will hold up to all scrutiny. If it's false, it won't. So if it's true, it all has to match up.
You're putting a paradox out here.
Well,
Because if it's true, always and forever.
correct.
But if somebody's able to squeeze in something, you're like, yeah, but here's this science truth.
Well, it won't hold up on the truth scale. So true science, true religion, true philosophy all have to be in the same plane. They all have to be accurate, and they have to be able to bounce off of each other and be provable to each other.
I feel like this is a great multiple parter for one, and a great something that we need a little bit of input from our listeners.
Yep, I would, and possibly we might do this after Patty's Day. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, we're not doing this on Patty's. We're definitely not doing this one on Patty's.
This may not be one of those episodes where you want to have a couple of beers to begin with.
For sure.
All right, so that I don't think true science and true religion ever contradict each other because they're both true. False science will contradict true religion, and false religion would contradict true science because one of them is not true.
But who decided who it was false?
I think that's the eternal question because we don't know. We don't know the ultimate truth.
Time out.
Okay.
Maybe when you die and you go to heaven, you get to ask God a question. All right, so here's the BZ asked me this Thinky Blinder question.
I'm going to get back to this original sin thing, but before we get there, me and O'Heathen, where's he at? Oh, he not here?
Oh.
Well, anyway.
Oh, he's already in? How the hell did that happen? He's running the DJ booth.
Yeah. I told you guys to have fun down there. What are you talking about? What's wrong with y'all?
He did.
He did. He had a good time. All right, man, let's do some updates. Let's get out of here.
Cool. I got some news updates for you today.
Hey, you look like you're suffering over there, bro.
Fat, comfortable.
I just meant your sinuses or whatever you got going on up there.
Well, it's because we went from 30 to 70,000.
It's true.
To -8.
Yep.
To 60.
Yeah, now it's a beautiful spring day now.
Now it's a beautiful spring day. Everything's starting to bloom. And all the pollen's like, oh, you forgot about us, didn't you? Plow.
All right, real quick on the updates. Thank you to Eccentric Brewery for having us tomorrow. Come down and see us, 7 o'clock at Eccentric Brewery, and then we'll be recording our Patty's Day special. That will come out next Thursday, so be looking out for that. Big thank you to Coco Cocktails for sponsoring the show. We appreciate all you do, and if you are in the seltzer game, if that's something you would, if you drink on occasion, put all that other crap aside and go get you some Coco Cocktail. Promise you won't go back. It's
divine.
So good. Patreon, if you would like to sponsor, God, I do that every time. If you want to help support the show, you can go over to Patreon, and Hidden Revival number 9 is out. And man, I love that. I love that extra podcast. It's a lot of fun and a little more interactive. So thank you guys that do support us over there. If you'd like to join up, when we get to 20 Patreon subscribers, we'll start giving our 10% to a local charity. Yep. So we hope to do that in April. We hope to hit that threshold.
Hoping so.
And so we'll be able to do that. Y'all can join with us as we give to good and honorable charities. Patty Day is coming up. Be careful out there. Drink responsibly, but have a good time. I think that's the message that we ought to send to everybody.
Everybody says that.
Thank you to our OGs that have been around from the very beginning. You know who you are, and we know who you are. Couldn't have done it without you. And all you new folks, if you're just coming in for the first time today, or you just dipped your toe into the jacuzzi baby, and just kind of dabbled in a couple of episodes, thank you guys for checking us out. We really appreciate you guys. Last but not least, thank you to our wives for allowing us to do this. And remember to vote Pinewood and BZ 2023.
That's right.
Ponder?
Pre-gaming. For the campaigning.
Pre-game on the campaign.
That's right.
Ponder this.
The person that wrote Let It Go, that just super amazing hit from Disney. Frozen movie, if you don't remember.
Oh, I remember. I'm having flashbacks as we talk about it.
It's also the same guy that wrote The Internet is for Porn for the brilliant Broadway musical Avenue Q.
Really?
Yeah. Same writer.
The more you know.
The more you know. And this is how we're going to end episode 63 of Fraternize with these guys. I am BZ the Heathen.
I'm Pastor Pinewood.
Stay plumperable, friends. And do keep in mind, while you're surfing the web looking for porn, take a few minutes, check out your bank and credit card statements, especially if you have them dirty-ass cheerins.
Oh. That's awful, bro.
Just a little... just the defeat.
Can't get through one episode without getting me fired.
Well, I aim to please.
So when you get up there and you go through the whole process, like meet St. Peter and blah blah blah, and you get the final judgment, right?
Okay.
God gives you the yay or the nay.
Huh?
What are you gonna say?
If I say, I mean, if I get the yay, I'll be like, well, it's about damn time. This is a long ass line. If I get the nay, I'll be like, what the hell? I waited this whole time? Was there not some sort of online checklist I could have done to get the speed route?
Can you imagine if you cried to God for the waiting line to get into heaven?
This is a pretty cool place you got going on here. Got to talk to you about the wait lines. Can we do like Disney does? They got their speed passes.
The speed passes. Or Jesus could just hang his head and be like, "Come on, guys, just
sit him down. Sit him down."